Anybody that wants to grow and wants to learn how to do something, wants to learn the GPAC way, they're just all about it. That's all you need. Walking in the door is just somebody that's willing to learn the GPAC way, and GPAC is all about the training. So I love that they encourage learning and will train you on anything you ever want to learn about. My name is Samantha Solomon. I work in the construction industry. I've been with GPAC just over 3.5 years. I was a retail manager with Home Depot for over 15 years and wanted a change, knew that I couldn't keep up with the hours forever, and I just wanted to make a shift for my family. So I left, not having a job anywhere, and took a few months off for the summer and started serving for cocktail serving. The very first event that I did was GPAC, which was, now looking back, pretty incredible. Considering how many events I did, that was the most unique one that I ever worked at. I was approached by so many different people telling me about how amazing GPAC was, like in the first couple hours that I was there, and by the end of it, I had a card for a couple different people, and it was like, oh, you gotta come in, you gotta come check out GPAC. And I just fell in love with the crazy people and like the intensity and the wonderful atmosphere. And everybody was just so unbelievably inviting and wanted you to be a part of it. Started working in construction, and yeah, it really has nothing to do with the industry. I mean, I love building, so it kind of works out great for me on a personal level, but the craft, certainly, it doesn't even matter what industry you're in. The first 3 to 6 months at GPAC. So looking back, there were some wonderful things. I dove in head first and worked absolutely as much as I possibly could and just wanted to fully absorb myself in all the training and everything I possibly could. I worked a lot of hours. So the first few months were spending a lot of time outside of the traditional hours. It was something I wanted to talk about with everybody that I met. I wanted to talk about it with my family. I wanted everybody to know what I was doing, and I was excited about everything. And with that excitement, there was a lot of challenges. Learned that I wasn't automatically great at it like I had expected and hoped. Looking at those first 3 to 6 months, or even that first year, I would say is I never really had like a turning point. It wasn't ever for me. I didn't turn a corner. I was always building up and just continually growing. Some people, at like month 3 or month 8, they just started doing really well. I never had that point, so it was a progression for me. But looking back in that first 6 months, I wish I would have done less for my coach or less for GPAC just because they told me to, and start looking at it like a business. And they tell you in training, this is your business, this is your desk, run it like it's your own company. And that's easy to say. I got to the point where I was doing it just to check a box or just to appease a coach or someone else. It was when I started to look at it like, okay, why are they telling me that I should be making those dials or those touches, that I realized that there's a point to it, and that I should never be doing something just to check a box. Even though I didn't want to make those phone calls sometimes, and even though you think that nothing will come of that extra email or sending an additional, LinkedIn message or, just the extra things, don't just do it for the now. Do it for what you're going to want yourself to have done 6 months ago. To set yourself up for those future relationships or those long-term relationships, I would say put the seeds in every day, knowing that it's going to pay off eventually. Getting really organized up front, that's hard to do because it's really hard to organize information. You don't know how important it is, but to be consistent, figure out a system that works for you, and treat every single conversation, every single email, every reach out like it's going to benefit you eventually. I get so excited about construction because I am helping build schools and roads and like the infrastructure of a city. And it's exciting. And going through this past year, you realize how relevant and important it is to be in this industry. So I'm I of course think it's really important and very special. We're never okay with just doing what we've always done. Just because it works doesn't mean that we're going to continue doing it. Is how can we do it better? How can we do it differently? What are other people doing? How should we be doing or how should we be doing it? I love that the company changes. It's constantly evolving, and just whatever the situation might be, that's what we're going to be doing now. I like that GPAC accepts personalities of all flavors and of all kinds. I love that they welcome anybody that wants to learn, anybody that wants to work really hard or has a passion. My why to GPAC is I love figuring things out. So something that I find amazing about this job is that there's always a new problem or something new to work on or new to solve. And I love figuring out a company or what their ideal candidate looks like. And a successful placement is just, there's nothing better than figuring out what a company wants and finding that person and getting them to talk and making it happen. It just, of course, financially, it's wonderful. It's great when you can be compensated for the time put in, but it's just so rewarding knowing that you were able to get people put together in a great situation. What I do as a recruiter, what we all do at GPAC is you tell me what you need. You tell me what that person looks like, what kind of qualities, what kind of responsibilities go into that job, and then I find it. It's us investing into a company, finding out what they need, and then specifically looking for that exact thing that you're looking for or that you need. Something that I have a hard time even containing my excitement, and I might even squeal because I get so excited about, is the really challenging companies that you maybe feel like you can't get traction on, or you've never been able to get them to talk to a candidate before, or you feel like you're beating your head against a wall and just like, okay, can't figure this out. I haven't been able to impress them yet, but like, what can I do? And when you find that really hard to find person and you get them to talk, even something like a send out it just is unbelievably exciting. And that will start a morning out. That could, make your whole week incredible. It's just like those really hard to connect dots. So I would say that's what I get really, really excited about.